Okay, well, that was just kind of lame. Apparently, something stupid like my roommate, like a customer left a magazine, and so she took it home, just to look at it. Thought it was kind of interesting. And now the customer apparently is back and like needs it to have it back for like it's like an overdue library book or something like that. I don't even know, but like she was calling me to see if I could deliver it to her, but I said, you know what, I'm kind of busy. This is more important. So I apologize once again for the break. I don't usually like to take these breaks, but stuff happens. It seemed like it might have been a big deal, so I wanted to make sure that nothing did happen. So, anyways, we're gonna go into this last game here now, and yeah, here we go. All right, so it looks like PrAeToR has spawned at the bottom here. It looks like Zarel has spawned at the top. And it is Terran against Terran, as it seems. Terran against Terran. Lots of T's, lots of command centers, lots of SVs going to be put down this game. And to be perfectly honest, I don't know too much about this map. Well, it does look like this is somewhat of a narrow choke. It's not really so much that it's narrow that it is long. So it might be hard to bust in there with certain stuff. Tanks probably be pretty good on this map, at least at this spot. You can put up tanks there, a couple tanks back here, and you can't really spread out too easily. You can't really surround an area and then push forward. You got to like go in through this like narrowness, and that's just not very good. Kind of bad manners here, but whatever. Yeah, well, it seems as though PrAeToR and Mr. Zarel is going to be playing pretty standard here, putting down that supply depot at the wall. The reason why you do it in Terran against Terran is just so that you don't get Hellions in your base. You can also deny scouting, and it's always going to be good for that. And of course, you're going to have tanks that kill off his tanks, so I mean, it's kind of like, okay, you don't really need to worry about that wall being busted down, because you're going to have tanks to defend it, So, anyways, it looks like PrAeToR not going to be finishing that up quite yet. I'm not sure why he decided to move it back here. I mean, I guess, your SV's coming back to mine, and you're like, okay, I have enough right here instead of, like, right there, Because, I mean, your supply depot does get finished before you have enough for another barracks if you're building SVs constantly, so looks like you just put it back there a little bit. Zarel decided to put it at the front. Doesn't really matter too much, but it looks like Zarel is going to be checking and scouting. And it looks like PrAeToR are going to be doing some scouting of his own seconds later. And, well, Zarel's going to find him first. They are in cross positions here. And, well, I don't know. Tanks can be somewhat of an issue. I mean, there is this kind of like small spot here. This spot is going to be good for tanks. Put tanks back here. It's going to be harder for Marines and things to sprint forward to kill off the tanks. They have to go around. Just because of the pathing in this game and all that. You can push them forward and attack them if they were right there, but, still. Let's see what else is on this map. Looks like a narrow choke there, some rocks there, and some low ground up there, some low ground down here, and all that good stuff. I just talk about it a little bit just because I'm not familiar with it quite as much, and I don't think a lot of players are quite that familiar with it. Just some players don't really like it that much. Like for me, for example, I play a lot of OBS. I think a lot of other players play a lot of OBS or a lot of Icy Jugs or whatever, But anyways, looks like there is going to be a factory for Zarel. I don't know what they're talking about. Something about Canadians and blah blah blah. I don't care. But there's commands that are going down. Wow, okay, I totally somehow missed that a second ago. But there's commands that are going down at the natural for PrAeToR. He's just going to be, going a fairly good economic play, getting up a Reaper, it looks like, to do some good early pressure. That Reaper is not really to do damage, really to just say, hey, I can do damage with it, so you gotta be aware of it, you gotta kind of worry about it, keep your eyes on the minimap, keep your units moving around, making sure that those Reapers do not get into your base. And that just requires more, if your opponent's not good enough, he's not going to be able to defend it defend it and, get up the usual stuff at the usual times. You're going to get distracted. And that's really what it's about, once again, You distract your opponent with that harass. Anyways, looks like Zarel is going to be command centering it up for himself. But yeah, he doesn't look like he's building that Reaper, so it looks like the Reaper is now in the base of Zarel, and PrAeToR is going to be killing off SCVs. Whoa, Hellion just popped out at a very good timing, and those that Reaper is going to be killed off right there. Yeah, that sucks. You know, I could have done a ton of damage, but you know that Reaper just or that Hellion happened to come out right when that Reaper was coming in. So, well, PrAeToR gonna be sitting back, building his barracks and engineering bay, kind of getting up that +1 attack, possibly, maybe just a missile turret, maybe. Probably not a lot, but you know, like 1, maybe. You know, I doubt it, but you know, it doesn't hurt. You know, you don't want to be slaughtered by banshees. Just get one up at your main or something. It does seem kind of early to do something like that, but I don't know. We'll see what he does. Well, he's gonna get upgrades. Looks like the +1. Not quite going down yet, but he does have that second engineering bay to start with that. Stim is on the way, for the record, and there is going to be some medevacs coming out here for Zarel, so Zarel is saying, I'm betting it's going to be Reaper into Banshee. Nope, it's going to be Reaper into a whole lot of Marines that are going to bust in there and kick your ass. But, well, Zarel is going to be possibly doing a drop in just a moment. Once he gets that medevac out. It looks like it's going to be pressuring the fronts as well. It's just some light pressure, a couple of Marines, you know, saying, hey, you know what, I want your units in the fronts so that I can drop in the back safely. Yeah, PrAeToR even sends some Marines back here just to look around, making sure that there is not going to be a drop. And while there isn't going to be a drop, at least not quite yet. Let's see, did the medevac come out yet? It must have came out. I want to look for it somewhere. There it is. Alright, so there's going to be a drop. 4 Marines. And there's a couple of Hellions in the fronts here as well. Alright, so even more Marines, 8 Marines. 3 Hellions in the fronts, once again, with the blue flame. Of course, that blue flame's not going to get past this. This is definitely a tight wall against those, you know, against Hellions. And I think those oh, okay, he's just going to use those Hellions to find some Marines. Of course, these Marines defending are not going to get that close to it, so it's really not going to help that much. And it looks like Zarel is going to be thwarted and forced to retreat. This medevac might go down. He just picked up those Hellions. If he picked up those Hellions and then died, that would have been awful. That would have just not felt good for him. So I'm glad it did not, because the game would be very short and very over. So anyways, looks like both players kind of building SCVs at the same amount of pace. 33, now they're at 35. They got 2 mules out. Pretty standard stuff. Looks like just the buildings and the units are different. And at the same time, it looks like, you know, Zarel not getting upgrades yet, you know. PrAeToR being very smart about getting his upgrades. That is going to help him a lot. You know, it's already almost finished. That's going to, you know, whatever attack he has to do or whatever defense he has to pull off, he's going to be just fine with that upgrade. You know, assuming he's producing enough guys. You know, you can't really, like, just build like 3 commands and say, hey, I got some upgrades and I'm going to be perfectly fine with no units because I have upgrades. So that's not going to work out. But Zarel going to be taking a third, very fast third actually in this matchup. And we'll see if PrAeToR decides to go in there. It looks like he is going to, just lower those supply depots. And some Marines are coming out. And wow. Alright, so lots of Marines going to be produced here. And I believe he's going to be pushing this out right now as well. Yep. With that +1/+1. Let's see, 33 Marines. It's against 3 tanks, 2 Hellions, and a Viking. So, you know, you can't really defend 3 bases with all that. So, I mean, if PrAeToR finds this base up here, then Zarel is going to be losing it for sure, first of all. And second of all, I don't know if he, well, he is siege mode. So, I mean, he looks like he's probably going to be alright in that department. But yeah, after he sees what he has, he should definitely check that third. That's not going to be guys. In my opinion, you know, I feel like oh, he's really going to go for it. PrAeToR is kind of losing a lot of guys here, while the Marines are actually spread out pretty well, and the tanks are being killed off there. All 3 tanks go down, and he actually did it with that handful of Marines. I did not think that was going to be possible, but apparently those few Marines busted in there with those plus upgrades, and even killing off those Hellions really quickly. And this base is under a lot of pressure right now. These SVs cowering in the corner, and this one tank can be forced to go down there and siege up a little bit lower down there, and while this base might be destroyed as well. These SCVs now repairing it, so yeah, it's gonna be just fine. But if those SCVs just did not realize that it was gonna die, then yeah, they would have. And well, Zarel, I'm not sure. You know, he did lose a couple of guys there. Let's see. Alright, so PrAeToR did kill off 11 SCVs. You know, he killed off a couple before with that Reaper, now he's killed off 9 more. And, well, with that said and done, you know, Zarel does have that extra expansion. He's going to be able to produce some extra guys with that. You know, some extra SCVs and mules. So, I mean, he's not really out of it right now. He just lost a couple of SCVs. You know, looks like PrAeToR did not really macro quite as well as he could maybe have. That or this, you know, this command center already started producing a lot of SCVs. Actually, if all these SCVs are from this command center, that's actually pretty good. You know, so it looks like he's already caught up pretty much. And well, PrAeToR. He just likes to get those delayed command centers. I mean, it's not like this time he really delayed it. It's more or less his opponent just got it super fast. But well, PrAeToR's going to be advancing forward with a whole lot of Marines again. And well, there's just a couple of tanks and a couple of Hellions once again. So, oh, okay, 2 more tanks just came out and a medevac. So I mean, that's going to help out quite a bit. Plus the 3 Marauders out here. So if he just goes straight forward, this will be pretty much slaughtered. I think. You know, I was wrong last time. I don't know why I just stimmed before, I guess, against those Hellions. If he picked him off, that would have been a big deal. Alright, so he's going to be a drop-in. I was kind of hoping he would. And, well, there's a lot of missile turrets back here, so I can tell you that's not going to go too well. Oh, is he going to lose that? He's going to lose that. 8 Marines just killed with that medevac. Another medevac. Oh, he's going to go right up to that other missile turret, and that is killed off as well. Only 1 Marine surviving now is killed off. Or actually, a couple of them were dropped there, but that did not go well. That just put Zarnell a little bit ahead. These Hellions. What the hell was that? Oh, I don't know. Well, PrAeToR does have a couple of Marines still alive, but there's a planetary fortress at that third. Oh, apparently it's just my window freaking out. Alright, well, anyways, those Marines kind of got caught there. You know, that's something you're going to be really careful with. As those Hellions, of course, just clearing them up. Now, when you attack this third, you know, it's really important that you note that you need a route to escape. You know, if you're on this ramp and Hellions come up behind you, you're gonna get slaughtered if you have Marines. You know, so you just want to have an escape route. There is an escape route, but again, you would have had to run right past that planetary fortress. Plus, Hellions are faster than Marines, so I mean, it's kind of like not something you really want to do. And well, PrAeToR looks like he's gonna continue on with this pressure. Alright, well, oh, there's a lot of tanks out here now with those Hellions. And Zarnell might be able to do a lot of damage. Well, he's going to bust through here. But if he goes forward, he could definitely do a lot of damage to these bases. Well, there's a planetary fortress, but at the same time, tanks just shell away at stuff so quickly. Wow, there's just so many barracks here. Like, I can't believe how many barracks with reactors on them.